So in this video I'm going to be talking a little bit about puddle manipulation and the Chicago Electric Flux-cored wire welder, or the 90 amp Flux-cored wire welder from Harbor Freight. Now you'll see the settings here on the screen, and you actually see me doing some welding, and the settings are pretty low on this machine. Doing a really complex weld here. It's you can just kind of see where I haven't welded what I'm working with. I have a lip there, and I gotta actually fill in that groove, and then I gotta build up enough material so I can be able to get good fusion on the toes of the weld, or the welding bead. I did get a comment a couple days ago, somebody saying that the machine does not weld like the way I weld with it out of the box, and that I must have done some modifications and put some Lincoln wire. But this is just crappy old, or so-called crappy, Harbor Freight Flux-cored wire, which I have no problem with. I like the stuff. I don't know why people have so many problems with it, but this welder, people who tend to get this end up being beginners anyways. So I mean, you're not going to get nice beads out of the box if you have no experience welding with Flux-cored. When it comes to this machine, you can get really good results if you really practice a lot. And there's a lot of information on the internet on how to weld with Flux-cored, or how to weld in general. But I mean, I really don't like to make those kinds of videos, just because of the grief that I do get for some of the welding videos that I do have posted already. So when it comes to puddle manipulation, as you see, I'm actually filling up that groove there on that lip, on that rim. And certain parts of the video you can actually see it better, but it's really difficult to weld that, even though it's scrap. I mean, you're actually welding on an edge, or actually on two edges, and filling in a gap there. So it's all about the manipulation. Towards the end of the video, you're going to actually see me doing a final weld on the rim. I just did that just to show you guys that you can get really good welds with this type of a welder. I mean, it's just all in reading that puddle, and when to move, or when to do your weave and move on, or whatever that you're doing. If you go too fast, you'll end up getting a bead looking like crap. If you go too slow, you'll end up burning through the material. So you really got to watch that puddle. Special little motions, I mean, they do help, but you got to learn how to read that puddle and when to move. We'll be able to see on the video the two differences on the beads. I mean, the first one that I did on the rim, yeah, it's decent, but it's not as nice looking as the other one that I did, or the final one, which looks really nice. Has really nice little ripples, and nice fusion on the bottom and the top of that bead, so it fused well. It's not about getting stack of dime looks. If you wanted to do that, I guess you could buy a TIG welder, but I mean, that's gonna set you back. I mean, or set anyone back. I mean, I paid $3,000 for my Syncrowave 210, and it's a nice machine and all, but I mean, it's not gonna weld stack of dimes out in the field, or actually outside where I'm actually doing this welding, or the welding that I did on the video. So I do get a lot of grief on my videos for the welding videos that I do have on there so far, and I mean, sometimes it's a whole bunch of trolls, but I guess I gotta live with it. But anyways, just to show you on those two beads, or the two differences on those beads, I mean, it's not that I don't know how to weld, it's just I'm working with scrap metal here, and I'm not gonna put very nice beads on scrap metal. I mean, if I'm working with new metal, of course, yeah. I mean, it's always good practice to actually try to get nice beads on everything that you weld, but I mean on scrap, come on. I mean, I can't TIG weld what I just welded together unless I want to spend the next 2-3 hours cleaning that nice and polished and wiped down with acetone, just so I can lay beads all around it, which will take much longer than what it would have with this Flux-cored. So I mean, realistically, not everything can be, or not all welds could be stack of dime looks. So it all, I guess it all depends on the person watching these videos, or any welding videos. I mean, I see a lot of people trolling out there, and just because it doesn't look like stack of dimes looks, I mean, they give the authors such crap. So I don't know. Watching that puddle and practice does make perfect. Just keep practicing, and eventually you'll actually outgrow the machine and move on to something bigger and better, or maybe a bigger and better Harbor Freight welder. Who knows? But anyways, on other videos I have mentioned before, you know, it is what it is. It's $100 welder, so, and you can't expect much for $100. So, but I mean, it sure as hell does a good job with scrap metal for $100. But anyways, that's it for this video. I want to thank you for watching, and see you guys on the next one.